maybe 1970, 80. So after Toyota introduced new model, after startup, we have a lot of customer complaint or some production issue. Then we decide, やり直してないんだよな。
Rework. We had to do
Yeah.
a lot of rework because of the defects.
So
or mistakes.
redesign, reprocessing, it need big money. And also, customer also has a complaint. Now, no production fluctuation, no customer complaint increase, it's just stable. Old model, new model, before it went up. But now, even a new model introduction, very hard. That's the reason project management became much stronger than before. So that's starting from marketing. So what kind of vehicle maybe good for next generation? Almost 6 months they study. And chief engineer, we have a chief engineer system. Chief engineer has a big power. It's not a director, maybe a senior general manager, but he has big power. He is giving a big power. Then after deep marketing study, design study, car outside design, interior design. So this is the kind of process, new management, new project management. And process engineer develop machine and process, and front side is producing. And after shipping new vehicle, we study the customer maybe feedback. The objective is kind of defect redesign, produce defect redesign. So manage each function and managing director of each function must have responsibility for design director, production engineer director, and plant manager director, and maybe quality assurance director. They must have a responsibility. And we have a handover meeting. It's Kevin the second king of something. When? Who should be attend?
So this handover meeting, we detailed plan is written exactly when, what time, and who is gonna be. It's very detailed plan. Is the meeting, handover meeting.
President of Toyota was involved this time. This maybe should go or no. Then after design finish, process engineering team, individual, can we receive that? We must reject that idea. And also plant side receive a machine or process. Very severe meeting, handover meeting is very severe, like a boxing game. Yeah, sometimes, or ashtray throw. Very severe meeting. Because when following process receive that, he must fix everything. All responsible people must attend at the handover meeting. Maybe 30, 40 people gather. And if there are some defects, handover is rejected. But saw some maybe design sometime. And we are sorry. I think we need 2 weeks more to fix this problem. That's the kind of condition of receiving. After introduce this kind of severe handover system, we call maybe milestone management or gate management. Now, very few trouble after we ship a new vehicle to the market. Is that useful for you, your company?
What do you guys think?
So he's asking this information is useful for you in your organization, or what's your opinion now?
So for me, when I saw this, all I thought was how sloppy we are with my company in the way we do this. Because when we develop products, that's what we do. We develop products, and we have a process. First we go to the beta testers, and we work through the entire beta testing process. And from the beta testing process, it goes to Lucas. Lucas finalizes the design, and then that design goes to mold makers or tooling. And then after the tooling comes back, we produce first parts, articles, and then from there we take the graphic design. Graphic design does the marketing, then marketing goes to, then we start producing, it goes to manufacturing, and Lucas sets up the cell. And there's no handoff meeting with any of that. Am I pretty correct? With no one carefully analyzing all that? What would you say? Okay.
So I wouldn't say that's 100% correct. There's no in-person handover meeting necessarily between us and the toolers, but like when tooling is getting produced, we require them make us 1,000 parts and prove the tooling works. We analyze 1,000 parts, we make sure they're defect-free. We'll make them go back and make them rework the tooling if there's any issues before they send us the tooling. And there's a handover meeting between engineering and graphic design where we show them the product, we show them the way it functions, we make sure they understand it so that they can do their job properly. And then I guess once I've set up an assembly station or build station, whatever it is, there's a handover meeting between me and the production lead showing him, what issues to watch for, how the process should work. And then from there, he'll take it, he'll improve on the process as they start making it. So it's not a detailed handover meeting like this, but I'd say there's some.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I'd say we're a little sloppy. I think that, and I'm not blaming you, I'm the one that set it up, it's my fault. But I'm just thinking, wow, there's a reason why Toyota's Toyota, because when you receive something, like when at FastCap, if the manufacturing receives a product from engineering from you, I don't think we're thinking to ourselves, Lucas, I better make sure Lucas has done his job and everything's right, because I'm not going to take this because there's problems inherent in the way this is going to be produced. I think they say, okay, I'm going to do my best and I'll try to make it work. Is that right?
I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we had a new mold that I made, and I handed it over to Injection Molding to run parts, and he came back to me, and we spent the next week kind of fixing up and retooling the mold and fixing issues that he saw in it. So, not always, but sometimes.
Yeah, but wouldn't he have not taken that? He would have rejected that because it wasn't ready.
I mean, he did, and so I worked on it with him. I took it back, I made changes, I brought it back. He said it's still not ready. I made more changes. We went back and forth for about a week before he accepted the tooling from me.
But wasn't that getting the cart before the horse, kind of? No? Wasn't that your job, and I'm not blaming you, don't get me wrong, wasn't it your job to make sure everything was right, and when Peter puts it in the mold, the part runs?
Probably, but how am I supposed to do that without putting it in the mold to try it?
Well, that's, I mean, I don't want to get into too granular, but what were the problems you had? What were the problems you had?
First problem was subgating holes were at a bad angle, and so the sprue bushing wasn't pulling out properly.
Why?
So I had to,
Why?
because I'm new at making molds and I did it wrong. And then second problem was we had an issue with guide pins being too loose on the other side of the mold, and when he put too much pressure, there was all of a sudden a mold shift, and we had a little bit of the two cavity sides not lining up properly. So I went in, nixed those guide pin holes and made new guide pin holes and made them tighter.
So we missed Ron, that was it.
I don't tell a secret.
Give him the
Beside
mic.
this
Make sure
idea.
Can you turn him up a little bit?
Yeah. So to eliminate, so redo or redesign in this time, process engineer, manufacturing, marketing, everybody join and discuss at this time. You know, so everybody know.
So you have all the people in this.
Yeah, all the people
Everybody's looking at this
following
meeting.
process join this activity.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know. So they're not just going from here to here to here. These people are up here discussing.
It's a
secret now.
It's a secret. So, for example, car plant protection people, maybe more than 30, 40 people join design activity.
So, in the scenario that we just said, Lucas, when we're doing the beta testing, when we're in the design part, Jamie's not involved, manufacturing's not involved, Peter's not involved, nobody's looking at any of this, right? So,
Yeah.
I'm just, look, this could help you or could not help you. I'm just telling you, it's nice to know what Toyota's doing behind the scenes, because you're not gonna learn this any other place.
제조 컴퍼니 맞지? 옆에 디자인 해주고 디자인으로 캔토요. 네? 계속
Can we have Mr. Umamoto
Yeah.
talk just a little bit? Just, I want to hear from his perspective, because he also works. Let's talk about, do we have time? We're okay. Okay, so I think, first of all, this is a little bit difficult to ask. Is anybody getting anything out of this? Is this worthwhile or no? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Romero, let's talk about what it's like to receive a new design from Toyota and what's involved from your standpoint. We now know the design, now let's deal with the tier 2.
First, we received the design from Toyota, tier 1 of Toyota, because that's our customer. And design, we first analyze, is this really realistic for us to do this or not? Sometimes they're too difficult for us to do this, then we return it. Hey, we can't do this. And we request to change the design before we receive it. And then our customer listen to us and they try to cooperate with us.
Microphone, come on. Everyone. Okay, stand up, yeah. It's okay.
It's working?
Yeah.
Sorry, do you run it through the production line first before you say no? How do you know it won't work?
No, only the design, we have ability to see, yes, we can do it or not. Or not 100% sure, then we return it.
Always. You can always see that.
Yes. Yes. At least we can see it's possible or it's impossible. We can see it.
Okay.
Superman. He's a Superman.
Okay, now, Mr. Mamura, talk about from the moment you do accept the product, you accept it, walk us through the process real quick that you go through to get it into production.
So we calculate how many pieces we have to produce per month. Then we will start thinking about we will start producing the molds for stamping machine.
でそれは
はどういう機会でどういうやり方をするんですか？あ、そうか。
And we will decide how we're gonna approach to the process. We will have a deep
それを
meeting.
お客さんに提案する。
And then we give this proposal to the customer, which is tier 1 company to
で、承
them.
認を受け
And
て、
we get approval from them. Then we finally start producing. それそこまでの時間どれくらい？
大体我々は
We spend about
1年前に出て
1 year.
So do you guys produce the tooling yourselves, or is there a back and forth between you and a tooler?
あ、そう、全部うち
No, internal.
お店。
Internal. We don't outsource.
One year plan.
So this is the sloppiness thing, okay? So it's 1 year of planning, and they're talking about a single stamped metal part, not a whole product design, okay? So kind of get that perspective.
Some other automaker, sometimes design much stronger organization than front side. But in Toyota, front side, production engineer design on the front. Front side can say anything to the design. They will listen to the front side opinion and change design. Yeah.
So Toyota has a flat organization. Normally in the manufacturing industry in Japan, always plant side has less power to say something. You can't really say whatever you want to say to the design department because they are above them. But Toyota doesn't have that hierarchy. They have a flat organization, so you can almost, argue on the same level. Yes, we can. We are not afraid to speak up to the tier 1, which is our customer.
Is Toyota paying for the design?
Yes. Yes. Please use the microphone so we can hear
You
you.
have microphone.
I have your mic?
Yes.
I'm interested to know why it takes a year. What do you do to make a metal part? How much can you do to a metal part in a year?
It's a must. It's a must, and it is not too long.
Toyota try to shorten that lead time. Yeah, maybe shortest changeover is 12 months. It's so hard. It's a test game. We tried 12 months startup. People may die.
What are you doing for 1 year on one part? I want to know the details. Give me some details. What are you doing for 1 year on one part?
So first, once design is fixed, Toyota start doing the prototype work. So they are producing the prototype,
大体1万キロ
and then they run minimum test the car minimum of 10,000 kilometers.
でそこで
Then they will approve, and then they will find problems out
そ
of
れを
it,
また改善
and then they have to do kaizen to fix the problems.
簡単には
So they don't just pass on to our side. Toyota is really testing until they're 100%. Then they will start moving to the other next process. That's why it is necessary, and sometimes 1 year is not enough.
May I ask a question?
So they get Toyota does their testing. They put their 100,000 or 10,000 kilometers on the car. They then give it to the tier 1. The tier 1 says, okay, this is the part I want Mifune to make. So what is Mifune doing with that design for 1 year?
But are you talking about one piece or 250 new model? Which
That's
one?
what we need to understand. Does one piece take 1 year, or does 250 pieces take 1 year?
Yeah.
It's not one piece. It's 250 new items at the same time we have to start. That's why we need 1 year. But sorry, it was not clear. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
That makes more sense, right?
Is it 2 years with, a little over 2 years with Toyota, and then it's a year with Mifune? Or does that process engineering happen, the manufacturing happening with Mifune?
After process engineer 5 months later, then we start handing over to tier 1 and tier 2 so that they can produce starting at the same time here, manufacturing.
So Mr. Umemura is receiving it right here, right?
Oh, the Zumeogen drawing.
Where?
Oh, yeah. Design make a drawing.
Right. So this is when Mr. Umemura receives it, right here.
Maybe.
So this is the 1 year time period that he's working in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know
Here,
that.
maybe first mass production trial in front side, and second, final confirmation. That took maybe 4 months.
5 months.
Okay.
Keep coming.